Hello and welcome to So Easy Sewing's Granite City Block of the Month, Block 5 class. We will take our fabrics 1, 5, 7, 11, and 14. From fabric 1, we will cut 48 2.5-inch half square triangles. We always want to use our leftover fabric from our previous blocks before cutting into our newest fabric. We will cut 4 1.5-inch by 12.5-inch rectangles and 4 1.5-inch by 10.5-inch rectangles. From fabric 5, we will cut 2 2.5-inch squares. From fabric 7, we will cut 8 2.5-inch quarter square triangles. These must be cut with a single layer of fabric. We will repeat the same steps for fabrics 11 and 14, cutting out 8 2.5-inch quarter square triangles from a single layer of fabric. We want to label all our pieces and then we can get sewing. We will take one 5E piece and two 5A pieces and make a flying geese. This will be called Unit A. Next, we will take one 5G piece and two 5A pieces to make another flying geese. This will be called Unit B. And lastly, we will take one 5F piece and two 5A pieces to make our last flying geese. In the pattern, this is called Unit D. We will press the seams on all of our flying geese out towards our half square triangles. Next, we want to make sure that all of our flying geese are 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and we want to cut off all of our little tabs. Next, we will make our Unit C pieces. We will take two flying geese and sew them together so they face the same direction. The pattern calls for us to use Unit A and B to make this piece. However, you can put them in any color order you desire. For Unit C, we will press our seams toward the tips of our flying geese. Now we will sew our rows. We will need 2 Unit C pieces and our last Unit D flying geese. First, we will sew our flying geese to our Unit C piece and have all pieces pointing to the left. Now we will add our second Unit C piece to the right side of our block, pointing up. We will follow the same steps for our bottom row. For our center row, we will need 2 Unit D pieces and 1 5D square. You want to be sure that on the left side of your row, your flying geese is pointing down, and on the right side, it is pointing up. For our top and bottom rows, we will press our seams so that all of our seams point toward the tips of the flying geese. For our center row, we will press our seams in toward the center. These rows will piece together a little differently than our previous blocks. When you go to pin your seams together, one side will nestle together like all of our previous blocks. The other seams should all line up on top of each other. I pin right next to the seam line to hold these in place. follow the same steps when attaching our bottom row. We will press the seams for our rows towards the center of our block. Next, we will attach a 5C rectangle to opposite sides of our block. And as always, we will press these seams out. Now we will sew a 5B rectangle to our last two sides. lastly, we will press these seams out. Congratulations, you finished your 5th block.